Let's talk, girl.
Yes.
I'm Sam Reece, and this is TalkGirl, the podcast where we talk about growing up as a tween in the early 2000s when electronics were see-through and proactive was the substance. Okay,
Let's talk.
guys, today's guests are so cool. They're sisters. They're a comedy duo. They pull off pastels like nobody else on this earth, as you can see.
Stop.
Together, they host the incredible podcast, FanGirl Central. It's Amanda and Amber Miller.
Hello. And thank
Hi,
you for
thanks
having us. This is
So
so
excited.
exciting.
This
You're
is such a
here.
good set.
I'm obsessed
Thank
with
you.
it.
I feel like I'm in limited too.
Yes.
Goodness, yes.
I loved when you said when electronics were see-through.
Me too. I clocked that.
I wish that would come back.
It was
like when it was all
techie. It was
like
so futuristic.
colorful.
now everything's silver.
I'm like, what is this?
Mhm.
They
All
were
the
having
like
fun.
girl tech stuff.
The
like-
Tamagotchi stuff was see-through.
Yeah,
Mhm.
just
The
like
back of it.
anything. It was like all this
Phones.
stuff to let kids feel like they were like cool and adult and techie.
And
It was an
inside
aesthetic.
the internet. Is
Yes.
what it felt like.
Yes.
Like stepping into the new generation.
There were
Yeah.
also so many episodes of television where they would go into the TV, like channel chasers on Fairly Odd Parents. They go into the TV and
Yes.
like literally like surf the channels. And I was like, well, one day that's gonna happen to me. For some reason, like in my head, I was like, that's where I'm going.
Blue Skidoo,
That's where
we
we're
can
head-
do.
Yes, we can do anything. First line of the Cheetah Girls.
Wait and see.
So how else am I
How
supposed
did
to
we
grow
get here?
up?
Yes.
Every Hannah Montana song is like, this is the life. Like,
No, like
life's what you make it.
Yes.
exactly.
Like,
I'm a rock star.
I'm a rock star. Like, we
Like-
were building in that confidence.
We
in a way that
were.
we didn't know.
We were singing the affirmations, like,
This
and
is what dreams are made of.
the girl power is my religion.
Cheetah Girls were like the number one, right?
That's
I
where
think
it
Cheetah Girls
started.
is where it
yeah, that's
started.
100%.
The first thing I remember, like the first person outside my family I remember is Britney Spears.
That's amazing.
And
I feel like that's really accurate.
No
like,
aunts, no uncles. Britney
like,
Spears.
we would do
Britney.
dress up. We would do dress up and like have our midriffs out and like be like, look, watch, we're gonna dance like Britney and like
Yeah, and
put
the
tights on our
imitations,
head
yeah.
to make our hair like swing around like her. I remember her on the VMAs, like watching it, like as if it was church, being like gathering around the TV and being like, oh my God, Britney. And so like I feel like it makes sense that Disney Channel is like in our vein.
Aaron Carter is who I remember
Yeah.
a lot because,
Mm.
and I saw that and
Our
I was
guy.
like, is that Aaron?
Yes.
Loved Aaron Carter, and that was my first concert when I was 3,
Yeah, it was our first
and Amanda's
concert.
first concert when she was 5 because our mom wanted us to go as a family.
Anything to do with music was like I was latching onto it.
Right.
So the ones that I actually remember are like Cheetah Girls, High School Musical, all that type of stuff. Because I think we were so obsessed with Britney Spears, Cheetah Girls was like, what? Like
There's multiple Britneys.
there's multiple of
There's
them,
just
and
so
the
much
main one
power.
is a black girl who I think is the cool. Like Raven Simone is like
She's so cool.
She gets shit done.
she's like my superstar. Like I thought she could do no wrong. I was like, she is hilarious. She's funny. She's a goof.
Mm-hmm.
And she's also like a superstar. Like she can sing, dance, act, dress up in drag, and be literally the craziest person in the
Yeah.
world.
Put a pin in this, but I think she should have been Xenon.
Let's talk, girl.
If you really think about it, there was a final day you wore Limited 2
Yeah.
and never again.
I think at 13 I was like sad that I was growing out of Limited 2 because it was only children's sizes. There were no like
Yeah, you're
and
right.
I would also have to give my old stuff to Amber, and I would be like really upset about it.
That's probably like a older versus younger sibling thing because I was so excited to get to the point that you had already been at. I was like, okay, I saw Amanda do it, and now it's my turn. And I wasn't really nostalgic about growing out of things because I was like, yeah, and I can do it too. And look, and now I'm 13 too. And so that's very interesting.
And all this stuff is coming back, like the little like midi skirts.
Oh, it's all back.
And the
Yeah.
like colorful like
Hence
vests
this jacket.
and like
Limited 2 is
zip-ups.
back.
Yes,
Yes.
It's bad, but it's back.
I know.
I haven't
it doesn't
seen it.
look. It kind of looks like I don't know Abercrombie or something.
Oh,
They biffed the
no.
relaunch.
They could have even had like I don't know pop-ups. If there was a
Yeah.
Limited 2 pop-up, like the line I feel like would be
Days.
long.
Mm-hmm.
I do not wait in lines. I would wait in that line.
I know. I don't wait in lines anymore either because I've just done it so many times
Yeah.
for like celebrity like meet and greets. The longest that we've camped out is 24 hours for the Marvel Studios panel in Hall H.
Whoa, did you
in
get in?
2014.
Yes.
Yeah, we were on the 5th row.
Yes.
Damn,
And
was
we
it
caught
worth it?
we caught some roses from Robert Downey Jr.
It
It
was
was worth
worth
it.
it.
Okay, so your fandom, Britney, Cheetah Girls,
Yeah.
and then where does it kind of go from there? Is it sticks with music, and then it turns into
I feel like we're multifaceted fangirls. I feel like that's kind of our reputation at this point. But I feel like, yeah, we go Cheetah Girls, and then bring in the Jonas Brothers. Yes.
And then Hannah Montana.
And then Hannah Montana. But then I want to sprinkle in there that I was obsessed with Sweet Love, Zack and Cody. I remember the moment I saw the first trailer, and I was like,
You've got mail.
there's two of them, and what are they doing? And they're doing shenanigans. I was like, I have to watch it. When's it coming on?
Yeah,
was
I
it like a
love
crush
that
or like I
show.
want to be them?
And who knows?
And who knows?
And that is
And
what
we'll never know.
I am figuring out in my 20s today.
That's
maybe a
beautiful.
little bit of both.
I love that show. I mean, I loved Maddie in London too. I think
Same.
and Esteban and Mr. Mosby,
And
the
Mr.
whole
Mosby
cast.
and Carrie and Arwen.
You guys are saying
Patrick.
names, and I don't know what they are.
High School Musical and Hannah Montana came out the same year. It just blew my mind. Like, it blew my whole world up. What is this? So it's Disney Channel, and they're singing consistently. Like, because there was always a song in every Hannah Montana episode, and she was from Tennessee, and we're from Tennessee, and she's just a normal girl, and she goes out to Malibu, and she has a double life, and I was like, this is me. That's
also,
me.
in 2006 was the first time we from Tennessee flew out to California.
That's right.
Oh,
And
so
so
you
we
were,
were
like,
very,
parallel
we
life.
like identified with Hannah.
That's
with Miley and
right.
Hannah. Like, we were like, we're from Tennessee. We also want to be living a normal girl life, pop star-esque situation in California.
We flew out there because our parents taught at the school that we went to, and one of their former students, she had gotten put in a girl band, and they were like recording an episode of one of their performances, and she was like, come out. And so our family literally flew out to LA to like see it and see a taping of it, and it was crazy. And we were like, this is Hollywood.
And a Boys in Motion.
Yeah, one of the boys in
One
motion.
of the Boys in Motion was also a
From-
judge. It was
from Raven. From that
Oh my god.
And we got to meet them and like take pictures of them, and it was like, and we got to go to the American Girl place at the Grove.
It was
we
glitz and
literally
glam.
just went to the American Girl place last night. We're so on brand.
We did at Century
it's at
City.
the Century City Mall now.
I didn't even know there was one.
Oh, you need to go. It's magical
We'll be your
in
tour
there.
guides. We've taken so many people. It felt like we were living the like Disney Channel triple threat singer, dancer, actress life.
Yes.
And then One Direction enters the picture in 2011, 12, depending on
Okay, so there's
how
quite a big gap in there.
intense.
Well, Justin Bieber
Yeah,
was
it's a
the
big
gap.
gap.
It was just. It was like
I've always said
Disney
that.
Channel.
And then this is where it turns, because then Joe Jonas specifically got a haircut, and I was like, now he's kind of cute.
And
so
you didn't say that to me. I don't think.
on the cover of, I think, one of like Bop or J14, I saw him and it said, Joe gets a new haircut. And I said, and Joe got a good new haircut, and I'm liking it. And so then, I don't know, we just had I was obsessed with the Jonas Brothers. They guest starred on
No,
Hannah
what
Montana.
happened is that we went to the Best of Both Worlds concert, meet
Right.
Miley Cyrus,
oh my
and
God,
so
it's
she
so hard
was
to
like,
piece together.
the Jonas Brothers opened for her, and I was like, okay. By the time they sang Year 3000 at the end, I was like, we all know this song.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm into it.
It was like, I
And-
think Euphoria.
and I was just like, okay,
Blown away.
I'm converted. I'm a
This
Jonas
is a
Brothers.
milestone.
I'm for the Jonas Brothers now,
Okay.
fully.
Wow. In 1999, okay, I was 9, and there was an NSYNC tour happening, and
Oh my god!
I went with my dad, and
Uh-huh.
Britney opened for
Right,
NSYNC.
you were there?
Yes.
History.
No,
I was like, yeah, she's really good. Yeah.
she's really good.
I see something here.
When that
It's
song
still a
comes
hit.
on, I can like feel it inside my body.
I was obsessed with Oops, I Did It Again. It's
Good.
still my karaoke song. If I'll just do Oops, I Did It Again, I'll do my Britney impression, and people will be like, what is she doing? Karaoke.
No, exactly what's happening. It's a performance of a lifetime.
But since we're 2 years apart, our fandoms kind of diverged once I hit high school, I think.
That makes sense.
Because I was growing out of Disney Channel. Amber, where did you branch off?
So, okay, I started leaning towards less fantasy and more like shows like Degrassi, where it was teen dramas in real spaces, and then also like MTV, like reality shows. So I was obsessed
Very
with
melodramatic.
yeah,
stuff.
like I was
Next
more
Bus or like
yes,
Date My Mom. Like
yes,
that kind of stuff.
Parental Control.
I like
Parental
that.
That
Oh,
one,
yeah, yeah.
Disaster Date, and Teen Wolf, which was fantasy.
Oh, and I
But
I
it
that's
was
where
in
we came
high
back
school.
together. That's
Yeah,
where
and we
came
did merge
together.
back together for Teen Wolf. But Degrassi was my big thing.
You guys have your own fandoms now that you're into. Was that like informing your personality, your style, your aesthetic, like everything?
We say like being a fangirl is central to our identity because we're FanGirl Central. My whole personality is informed by the things that I'm obsessed with because they just consume me, like as a person and as like an artist who like wants to make stuff.
You guys had a good quote. Being the weirdest, most obsessive, unhinged person in the room is okay and actually really cool and fun.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like everybody has a part of them like that, but they don't feel comfortable doing it at work or wherever they are. When you do, you kind of can't help but just kind of feel completely yourself. Like, you know, because you are being completely yourself. And if you just like take away anybody's like opinion of it.
Yeah,
No one
that
can
with
really
everyone.
pin anything on you because you're like,
Right.
well, this is, yes, I said it with my chest.
You don't
This
need
is
to
how
like
I
it.
feel it. Yeah.
I think it makes life more fun to enjoy things, and for some
100%.
reason, like being a nerd is like has always been derogatory, and I thought like we had gotten a little past it, but I feel like we just like with teenagers, it is like so like just the way to like just be scared of something that you don't know, like anything that is unfamiliar. So
yeah, you just want to fit in.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
don't necessarily be noticed.
I think it's just like people are shamed for liking something too much, and that's
Yeah.
just like a normal thing in society. It's like, why would you like something that much? And it's like, well, why don't you like anything that much?
you have to have some passion about something. Like,
Yeah.
otherwise, like, what is the point of anything?
Anything.
Like,
You
yeah,
cling
they're
on
like,
to
oh, you
something."
love that a lot, don't you? And I'm like, yes. What are you talking about? Yes, it's more fun. I think it's very related to like Christianity and like capitalism and white supremacy to just like make everything very uniform. I feel like shame is just a tool to get people to fall in line. And so anytime I feel shame, I'm like, I need to combat that because that's not true. Tumblr made me like unhinged in
For
a way
sure.
that's like very authentic, because I was like, oh, all these other people are like this.
It was a hub for people living their like truth on the internet.
Yeah.
It was so multi-fandom. It's so like you don't have to like just be into one fandom. You can like love a bunch of different things. Like
And
a
then
bunch
you
of different
find
types of
things too, like on Tumblr, you're like, what is this GIF set from? Then you look it up and you like do a bunch of like reverse research and you're like, and now I have to start from the beginning.
That's how I found Doctor Who. That's how I found Sherlock, Merlin. A lot of my mutuals would like change fandoms at the exact same time because like whatever new season was out, and then it like Doctor Who would come back on and we
And all
switch
the
back to Doctor
blogs,
Who,
yeah.
and then Sherlock would come back on and we would switch back to Sherlock. It was just crazy. Like it was a time. I love Tumblr.
For a fandom, what is important to you guys when you're joining it, or like what makes a fandom? Is it the community? Is it conversation? Is it the actual show itself?
I think
Oh, it's a collection.
for the actual show or movie, the characters, it's a characters and ensemble. So it's like multiple people or personalities for the fandom to choose to identify with.
Okay, yeah.
I think that's why I really liked shows like Degrassi, because I was like, it's a good ensemble. I want to know the intricacies of all of these people's lives, and then also I have a favorite this season, but then a favorite this season, or maybe I'm gonna go back and rewatch it with just focusing more on this character and seeing how they're reacting to things, even in their smallest scenes. When I find something that has just like prime rewatchability, that's when I
That's
really,
true fandom.
Yeah, that's when I really get into it. But that's more for like movies and TVs. As a One Direction fan, I think that was multiple boys, multiple personalities,
Endless content.
endless content, and then the fans producing more content. Like this
a productive fandom.
Oh yeah, a creative and productive fandom where it's like you can extend the universe infinitely, and
Right.
you'll never run out of content, and you're also all talking about it on the dashboard.
Which is how I feel about Marvel. There's movies, which are fan fiction. There's like fan art. There's all these different types, and you can kind of like make the characters whatever you really want them to be, as long as the core is the same. Because Sebastian Stan was my favorite actor forever, and I think he still is. Oh, we forgot to mention Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Oh.
Woo!
That was
I
the
really
first time
think
we
that was
came
when,
back
yes,
together.
Because as sisters, we diverged paths. We had to like watch things on our computer screens and not together for a little bit, and then Avatar hooked us, and we were like, "Oh my God, we're back in the playroom. We're watching this, and we were watching it very closely."
When you're rewatching stuff now, are you identifying with different characters?
Sometimes.
Yes, because I'm watching it as an adult, empathizing for the kid. I'm gonna throw in Gilmore Girls because the two main characters are Rory, who's 14, I think, in the first season, and then her mom, who's 32. I see more of Lorelai's perspective now than
Right.
Rory's, and it's so weird to me because I'm like, oh my God,
I feel that with Mamma Mia.
yeah.
I identify with the. I
It's
identify
crazy.
with Meryl Streep and her friends,
But
way
even-
more than Sophie.
And even Twilight, I'm like, oh, Charlie, oh, Bella's gone, and she didn't tell you where she was going. And you're like, I really just feel for
I
him.
forgot about Twilight. I was obsessed with Twilight.
The
in
adults are
middle
just
school.
trying to understand where
Yes.
you're going. They want you to know you're safe.
Yes, because
Right.
they're concerned, and maybe the adults are just now realizing things that they felt as a teenager, and they're like, I still don't know how to even help the next generation, you know?
I really binged The Vampire Diaries. Have you ever watched it?
I've
No, but
seen a
I
couple
have
episodes.
soft plans to try and start.
I love that. I support that. Her aunt is taking care of her because her parents died. And spoiler, sorry. And the aunt is like probably 28. Like,
Oh
I have
my
no idea.
God.
She's a baby, and they're always like, "Let us go," you know. And she's like, "I just do whatever you want. It's fine. I'm sorry."
I'm sure you'll figure it out.
She's just a young woman,
Literally.
trying to graduate college and do her best.
Oh my God, yes.
And Elena just wants to fuck all these vampires.
Oh my God.
Cannot reel them in.
You guys are super inspiring me to get back into my fangirl status because I haven't been a super fan of anything in a while.
It's
And
rough
I do
out here.
think it is like so key to just inner
Yeah.
child love and
Yeah.
self-compassion. I think that's really, really cool.
Yeah, just like love it, and like there's no like end game to it. There's just like, oh, like the purpose of me watching this or like looking at this on Tumblr is literally just because I want to.
Just
Yeah,
joy.
It's
Just joy.
it's good for your imagination. You're just you're in a different universe. You're in a different world, and your brain is just going. Like I would love to see the monitor, like a monitor of like the brain waves whenever you're actually fangirling. Well, in the One Direction movie, there's a scientist that has like analyzed the brain waves when a girl is at a concert. And it's like the girls are not crazy; they're just excited. That's like a direct quote. We're excited. We don't know how to get it out. We're screaming at the top of our lungs.
Yeah.
Enthusiasm does not equal psychotic.
No, it's not.
No.
It's not. Well, I was gonna say it's not hysteria, but we're a little hysterical, but it's in a positive way.
Yeah.
You need to feel every feeling that there possibly is at least 500 times a year. I don't know what the percentage is, but you need a good range of emotions every year.
Would that be your advice to future fangirls, people wanting to be in fandoms? And
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think like just don't think about what people outside the fandom are going to think, because I think a lot of times even like creators of stuff or like fans of stuff as it's coming out like will judge it based on what outsiders are going to think.
Yeah.
And like, but it's not for them. Like if they don't like it, then nothing's for everyone.
Yeah.
So just
Right.
enjoy it for yourselves. And like, I think finding someone to talk about whatever the fandom is with is like the best thing ever. Like I think all my very close friendships have started with at least one common interest, and then it built off of there. My most recent friend that I bonded with, we were binging the L Word like not together, but when we met we were at the same episode and we were like, wait a minute. And so every time we would watch, we would be texting each other, and then we watched the finale together. And
That's so
now
cute.
like she's one of my closest friends, and it's like that type of thing bonds you together in a really like special and non-toxic way.
Yes.
Love that.
Honestly, yeah, because I'm going to compare humans to computers, but like the way your dashboard starts to get curated just because it's like, you might like this. That's kind of how you find friends. You're like, you like this?
Yeah.
Kind of vetting
Fandom
each other
is a
out.
gateway to friendship and girl power.
Absolutely.
And it helps me talk about my feelings better. Like I process my feelings and emotions better if I can like understand it through art.
If it resonates with you, it's going to resonate with someone else. Like, take out all the noise of like, how are people going to react? And it's like, you are reacting in a very real way, and you have to like self-validate that, and someone else will connect to it. Because when we first released our short, our One Direction, the day I didn't meet One Direction
I
short,
need to see that.
the moment before we like we had a premiere where we showed it to family and friends, and the moment before it started playing, I was like, I'm showing my entire ass. I'm literally, I look psychotic. I look hysterical in this. Like, and the thing is, it's the full truth.
That's me.
No
Yeah.
exaggeration. And if people think that I need to chill out, then
We
they
don't
might
have
have
time
a
for them.
point. But
Yeah.
it's like but then after that screening, people were coming up to us like, this is exactly how I felt for this, like this TV show or this band, and I camped out for this, and it's just like a universal experience. But you would never know it if you were trying to curate it to be the most digestible thing for most
It's like the
widest
things
audience.
that people hold the closest. I mean, I've always like, this is the most vulnerable I've ever felt. Oh my God, what am I loving right now?
Give me a second. Let me think. The only thing in my head right now is honestly Pretty Little Liars. It's like, if you haven't seen The Mess, you need to go tune in, because it is one of the craziest shows I've ever seen. Pretty Little Liars is actually crazy.
That's a good recommendation.
It's a goose chase.
I guess I would say if you haven't seen like Hayao Miyazaki movies,
That's a good one.
go watch
whole
them, because
universe.
he's my favorite director, and just because of like, it's just like wistful and funny, but also sad and bittersweet, and like things like Howl's Moving Castle and My Neighbor Totoro, Kiki's Delivery Service. Go home and watch all of them.
You have
Like,
homework. Where can we find you guys? Plugs, anything.
we are FanGirl Central, so you can
Yes.
follow us on all of our socials at fangirl.central across Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. We also have a podcast. We're on a break right now, but we have a whole backlog.
A little bit of everything.
Yeah. So I am Amanda, so you can find me at Amanda Lane Miller.
And I am Amber, and you can find me at Amber L. Miller on Instagram.
Yes. Thanks for coming on the pod.
Thank you so much for
having
having
us.
This was fun. This was
This was
perfect
amazing.
vibes.